Okay, it's day 62, and I just wanted to emphasize that this spy ring that's been around since 1998, that I've talked about really since day one, is a result of a program. It's a DynCorp type program, CIA program, which is called Presidential Decision Directive 62. And I've mentioned PDD-62, which is PDD is the short for Presidential Decision Directive. I've mentioned that several times. What people didn't put together was Andrew McCabe goes to Chappaqua in 1998 to start this. He does recruiting here in Virginia. He brings in Imran Awan, I believe, in 1998 for this program. He meets with David Petraeus for this program. And really, Hillary lays out over the next 20 years with David Petraeus all these plans as a part of, I believe, this, 7 different countries that they're going to overthrow with the CIA over time. They just don't know when. So they have all their people laid out with General Grange 20 years ago. They start developing and re-energizing the Mujahideen 20 years ago in Pakistan. And this whole thing comes together really with DynCorp planning, really going back 20 years ago. And I'll just show you that Donald Trump doesn't need to invoke the Marines or have anybody take over anything. All he needs to do is pull out of the desk the piece of paper that says PDD-62 and just make the executive order and just make a cross through it and say revoked, done. This whole thing ends with one stroke of the pen. This is what I'm saying is I'm not trying to get anybody here. I'm not trying to get Andrew McCabe. If Andrew McCabe leaves and retires on a farm and sees his horses and sees his grandkids every day, that's all well and good, but that doesn't go at the root. If you don't get the root, if you don't get the tap root here, which is DynCorp and the CIA outgrowth here through DynCorp with Petraeus, you're not going to get the weed to go away. It's just going to come back in the yard a couple of days later, and you're going to have to deal with this all over again. But just going back to, so everyone knows that I said these things.
That her spy, as far as domestic spying goes, electronic surveillance in the U.S., was Andrew McCabe. He is the #2 man at the FBI. He is the guy who went to the White House and said the Russia story was hoax story was total bullshit. I think if you remember in the series, I said not only is he the person who created the Russia hoax for Trump and Paul Manafort and Michael Flynn and just the whole story, which he himself has now called total bullshit, but I also said he was the guy who did the surveillance on the Clinton Foundation employees and found out Eric Braverman was the leak. There's a famous Podesta email where they were trying to find the leak at the Clinton Foundation and they fingered Eric Braverman. I not only said that,